And the new Argentinian President Mauricio Macri, to move on, has presented his cabinet. Now, most of them, they're linked to neoliberal tendencies. Live now to Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, we turn to our correspondent Laureano Ponce. So, Laureano, what can we expect from this new cabinet, this new government, especially in terms of economic and economic policies and also social achievements, social welfare, if you will?
Hello to you, Kurt, and to the audience. Well, as you said, most of Macri's cabinet comes from the corporate sector. There are several executives from some major companies, some major international companies such as banks, JPMorgan or HSBC, that are now in public office. And despite they come from the private sector, they also have taken part in the Buenos Aires city government together with Mauricio Macri. Many of them were part of his cabinet as Buenos Aires mayor, so we already know some of the political orientations they will take. Right now, local media outlets are reporting that the new finance minister, Alfonso Prat-Gay, who is a former JPMorgan executive, is trying to obtain around $8 billion from private banks from the United States in order to release the controls on forex operations. This is also going to be followed by a currency devaluation that will take the value of the Argentine peso in relation to the dollar from $9.5 right now to around $16 pesos per dollar. That will mean pretty much a 50% currency devaluation that is already hitting the prices of the consumer goods. Many consumer goods here in Argentina that are also
goods such as Argentine
meat or soybean or even wheat are already seeing their prices rise because they already know that the government is going to take on a devaluation. So they know that their products are going to be much higher, going to have much higher prices maybe in 1 month from now. So this is already hitting the consumer prices in Argentina. People are already feeling that because the salaries haven't been increased yet. But that also anticipates one of the conflicts that will most likely hit the beginning of the next year, beginning of 2016, when the unions start to demand wage bargaining, collective wage bargaining process, and that will mean also that the government will have to take place. Either they're going to favor the unions or they're going to favor the private sector. Of course, with a cabinet like this, we always, and with the president that we know from the Buenos Aires city government, what we can say is that most likely the government will favor the private sector, Cody.
Quickly here, Laureano, it would appear, just looking on there from Argentina, we saw former President Cristina Fernandez. She really went out with a bang there. She had that massive rally. It would appear that she doesn't plan to sort of just go back to private life. Do we know how she plans or whether she plans to remain politically active, Cristina Fernandez?
Well, former President Cristina Fernandez hasn't revealed what she's going to do exactly, but she has said something about that in her last speech as head of state just a few days ago. She said that the true place of a political activist is not meant to be the government, but it's meant to be with the people and working for the people. So what we expect is that Cristina Fernandez is going to remain politically active, despite she doesn't have any kind of public office. She didn't run for Congress, she didn't run for governor of her province in Santa Cruz, but she is going to remain active. We also have to take into consideration two things. One of them is that one of the most important political organizations here in Argentina, which is known as La Cámpora, she is very related to that. Actually, the head of that organization is her son, Máximo Kirchner, who is now a national lawmaker. He became a member of parliament in the last election. And in the province where she comes from, the province of Santa Cruz in the south of Argentina, is going to be governed by her sister-in-law, Alicia Kirchner, who is the sister of former President Nestor Kirchner. So despite Cristina Fernandez herself does not have any place in public office, many of the people who are with her politically and have been with her in the last years are going to have the places in public office, and she's going to remain active. The massive rally that said farewell to her in some way also is a very important thing to take into consideration, because despite many times here in Argentina we see massive rallies in order to support a candidate, in order to support a government measure. This time it was a massive rally that was only meant to say goodbye to there. So this also shows the popular support that Cristina Fernandez still finds here in Argentina.
I don't think there's any doubt now, after seeing those images, that she retains a lot of support among a lot of sectors there in Argentina. Laureano, thanks so much.
Thanks to you. Goodbye.